What's going on, guys, and welcome back to Supper and a Can. We're back at the Valdoro in the Strongate, and I'm joined by this week's very special guest, Southside's finest, the gifted Gabrielle Livingstone. Welcome to the show. Now, without further ado, let's get a munch.
Just ride with it, like, go and get live with it.
Welcome to Supper and a Can.
Thanks so much for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you on. So first of all, the default order yet again. Talk to us about it. What have you got?
It's the most basic order you can get. It's the fish and chips.
They've given you two fish, to be fair. I didn't think that was possible.
I think it's because they like me.
They must. Do you like salt and vinegar?
I like salt. I don't like vinegar. I think vinegar stinks.
So your salt and sauce then?
Salt
Ketchup?
sauce. No, mayonnaise. I've got my little plate of mayonnaise here. And I love it. Wait, are you Italian?
Yeah. Nah, kinda.
Well, your name's
Not as Italian as him. Well, my mum's dad. I think it's a lie, but I kind tell people he's born in Italy. I said it recently though, my dad said it's not true.
There's a lot of Italians in Glasgow.
But that's the funny
Especially
thing, even in here. So like this is like a very, very Italian thingy. And they knew, when I said to them about Piacentini, it's my second name, they know my mum's cousin's son. It's like everyone's all connected. But
It's a very small world.
I do like to claim I'm Italian, yeah. But I can't speak any.
No.
Not yet anyway.
You should learn.
What's your go-to takeaway?
I had an Indian last night.
Oh really?
Uh-huh.
So is that still the...
Definitely. Like,
What about town? If you're going into town, what date night? We
okay,
love a wee date night in Southern I Can. What's the date night place?
you know what? I will say, I lived in Edinburgh for 5 years. So, yeah, I know. That's why I've got a weird accent. But, so, when I was dating, I was dating in Edinburgh. So I have more experience dating in Edinburgh than I do here. Because I moved when I was 17. So I was really young.
Really? What for you? What are you studying?
I dropped out. I went to Napier and I studied social sciences, so psychology, sociology and criminology. Fucking hated it.
Really?
Dropped out like less than a year in. And then I did French, Spanish, German and Mandarin. Hated that. Dropped out.
Can you still speak any of them?
I can speak French. My mum's French.
Wow.
You should have done
That's
your
sick.
research.
Is she like French?
Yeah, French. My mum is the most French person you'll ever meet.
Oh, so have you got dual citizenship?
I've got an EU passport.
Wow. That's cool. That's what I'm trying to get.
That's
my mum's close to getting one. But because I was under 18 at the time they applied, I couldn't get one until my mum gets one. So as soon as she can get one, then I can get one.
You need to get one.
But they're spending.
Yeah, but it would change your life.
No, 100%.
But yeah, so I did that, dropped out as well. And then I just stayed in Edinburgh, working in restaurants. I was just fanning about, to be honest.
What made you go in to do them? Like,
Because
did
I
you
was
love
just,
social in school?
no, I didn't even like school. Like, I just went because I felt like I had to go to university. And also, my ex-boyfriend, my first boyfriend, went to Edinburgh, and I was like, I just follow you because you love my life. And now I'm like, what the fuck? Anyway, date night probably. Okay, see if I'm gonna say Glasgow. There's this amazing wine bar in the Southside called Made from Grapes, and it is.
Where is that? I know what that is. Is that
It's
the
on
one?
Nestale Road. You know where Six by Nico is?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's further down there.
Yeah, it is beside like the green newsend that sits in the corner.
That's the one. Right next to that.
I know
It's
what
my
that
favourite
is.
place ever in Glasgow. The wine is so good.
To the food? No.
They do like nubbly bits. So like, I'd
Tapas.
probably go there. Yeah. And then for food, probably I'm gonna say it's Sugo. Sugo is so good. You don't like Sugo? You beefing with Sugo?
Nah, so I went once. I've never been back. I went once like last year, like late last year, and I got cacio e pepe, and it was so shit. Like beyond shit. I couldn't even eat it.
That's
And ever
so
since
sad.
then I've hated on it. But almost every single episode when I say to the person, favourite spot, blah blah blah, they always give me sugo, and I always make a reaction. So, you used to work in the retail, is that correct? No?
Yes, I did.
You did? And then from there, you went on to the BBC.
I did.
What made you do that transition? What retail was it that you worked in?
I worked in And Other Stories. Do you know that? You'll know that,
No.
babe. And Other Stories, yeah.
What's that?
It's like an overpriced H&M. Yeah, so I worked in retail, but I've like worked in restaurants and hospitality since
What
I
do you
was
prefer?
16. Hospitality.
Really?
Retail's so boring.
Nah.
I get so bored so easily.
I'm the opposite. I hate hospitality.
It's fast paced. You usually have like a good team. To be fair, when I was working in this restaurant in Edinburgh for a really long time, it's actually my favourite place that I've worked, like hospitality wise.
Really?
But one of the supervisors was the biggest prick I've ever met in my life, and we got into a huge scrap in front of loads of clients, and I was literally like, you're a fucking piece of shit and all this stuff.
That's when you know it's a posh restaurant when they're clients.
So true. But yeah, we got into a massive fight, and then we were never allowed to work together again. So stand your ground, guys.
And then how did you get involved with the BBC then? Did you go to them or did they come to you?
They come for me.
Come on.
Let me say like a dick. Basically, when I was 19, I started this Instagram page called the Unheard Group. And it was basically like
Well, what is that then? For the people that don't know.
It was a support page for people. That's a lot of vinegar.
How?
Oh,
It just comes out.
that's what he's thinking anyway. It was a support page for young people who had like a loved one that had a terminal illness or had passed away. Because my dad had a really aggressive skin cancer for 5 years, and I felt like there was just no support anywhere, and I felt so alone and so isolated. So I thought, like, I know that there's probably other people out there that feel the exact same, so I'm going to start an Instagram page and just basically talk about how shit it is and how awful it is to watch like someone that you love just die. So I was doing that, and he was still alive at the time that I made that, and it blew up, and the BBC reached out to me and they were like, this is class, like, can we do a piece on it? So that's how we first started talking, and then it went on like international news. No, not international news. No, it didn't hit America. It was like it was national news, and it was like on like the BBC, like the big BBC down in London.
Wow.
Which is really cool, and I gained like so many followers, but it got very overwhelming because I was getting a lot of messages from people, which like I obviously welcomed because I was so happy that they'd found like a space, but it was like all these like horrible stories about people that had lost their loved ones, and like my dad hadn't even died yet, and there was a lot of like detail about like how they wanted to take their own lives and everything. It was just really, really brutal. So that's how I first got into the BBC. And then I started doing my first podcast, Hush Hush, which gained quite a lot of traction.
I've got that.
Sorry, do you want me to stop talking?
It's okay.
I'm firing at your question. And then I started my first podcast, Hush Hush, with two of my pals. And that got a lot of traction as well, because it was like when podcasting still wasn't really too big yet.
Yeah.
And then they got like actual real jobs, and they were like,
yeah,
boring. But yeah, so like they had to go and do. One of them's a lawyer, and one of them's like an actual proper journalist. Like one like for STV. Like I'm a journalist, but like a freelance journalist, so I can still fanny about. Do you know what I mean? She's got a full-blown contract. So they were like, yeah, we can't really talk about like vaginas and like penetration anymore. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll do it by myself. And then I started Gift of the Gab. But then in that time, how did the BBC reach out to me again? Oh, I started working for The Social. Do you know The Social?
The bar?
No.
Oh.
There's like there's a BBC like social media page for like Scottish creatives called The Social.
Really?
And I started to get work through that, and they asked if I wanted to do it like a video only podcast. And I was like, that's so class. So I did that, and literally only got one episode because the studio got fucked up after that. So then one of the like producers at The Social was like, you'd be really good to work on radio, do you want to be a researcher? And I was like, I want to be a fucking researcher.
You get a face to the radio, was that
Yeah, literally like, you're so butt ugly, you should go upstairs. So she took me upstairs, introduced me to the team, and they were like, do you want to freelance for us? And then that was it. And then I quit my retail job, and I was like, fuck off.
I noticed that you love to travel.
Yes.
You've been about.
I've been about.
What's... That's what I thought.
You've been about, you slag.
What's been your most eye-opening experience while travelling abroad? Like, when have you been somewhere and you're like, wow,
Japan.
I'm really here? I thought you were going to say
Japan.
that, 'cause that's...
Holy fucking shit.
I'm dying to go. Like, I really, really, really want to go. It's just so pricey to get there.
It is one of the most incredible places I've ever been. I've been twice. Sorry, not twice.
Whoa!
I've been twice because my cousin lives there, and one of my best friends, like growing up, she's half Japanese, half Scottish. I actually grew up in Following Gay Road. So I went in 2019, right before COVID hit. My mum and I are convinced that she was like patient X, like because she literally was like so sick when we came back. We went at Christmas time, and then we went to lockdown. Like COVID started spreading in like January, and we came back like the day before New Year's. I know. So that's when I first went, and it was literally the most insane trip ever. And we travelled like all over. We went to Tokyo, Kobe, Kyoto, Osaka. We were there for like 2.5 weeks. Just me and my mum. We went for Christmas, and went to see my cousin as well, my French cousin who lives out there. We did that. That was amazing. And then I went back just there in May, and it was just like, it's just so mad coming from here and going to Japan. Like the way that they live their life is insane, but even like their working culture is crazy. Like they work like dogs. Like my cousin and my pal, they work like from like 8 in the morning till like sometimes 11 or 12 at night, like in an office. Like you need to go above and beyond, like and you don't get paid overtime. Like it's crazy, but it's an incredible like country,
Right.
and it's the people are so respectful and so nice.
It's just so cool whenever you see the videos of people just everything works. Everything works so
It's
smooth.
like organized chaos.
Yeah.
Like it's so chaotic. It's insane. It's so clean. Yeah, it's insane.
Did you do the Mario Kart?
No, everyone keeps. I did not know this existed.
That's like the top 3 things that I'd want to do. But one of the main reasons I want to go is because like the clothes, like the
fashion.
shopping over there, like
I
the
spent
whole
so
fashion
much
scene is
money.
nuts.
I spent so
But
much
also just because of how much cheaper some of the stuff is. Because
the flights there are expensive, but see when you're there, it's not expensive. It's
Yeah.
cheap. Yeah.
because I think there's food stuff not quite cheap as well.
Yeah, it's cheap, but also like I'm saying that my mum was paying for me.
Then what about in Europe? Where would you say has been your favourite place to go to in Europe?
Oh, France.
Really?
It's my
I don't
favorite.
think I can remember being in France. Like I think
I think it's because it's also part of me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like when I go, I'm just like with my family. And,
what
like,
city would you do you always go to?
I have a village. Like that's where my family's from. Like it's
Oh,
tiny.
I thought
wee
you meant
village.
like I own a village.
Yeah, I
in
own a
Dublin.
village. Pretty big shit actually. No, we've got we're all from like a little village in the south of France near Toulouse, and that's where like my great grandparents and all stuff like. Just
Is that
like,
not
all
like
the
where the
family.
water's like south of France? Is that not where the water's all like turquoise?
It's not. That's like Southside. That's like French Riviera. This is like the Dublin region of France, which is like a river that runs through the whole of France. So like it's where like all the old English people go to retire.
That would be good
You
though.
know, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's so class, and like, I just go there.
And do you go often then?
Yeah, I go every year. This is the first year I've not been actually, and the COVID as well. It's sad, but it is what it is. Oh, okay.
Thank you very much.
Are you sure you don't want to be chat?
I'm on.
Are you sure?
James, come on.
No, I'm good now.
James, come on.
James, it'd be
Have
very
a fucking
not
jet,
true,
man.
James.
Don't have a jet, man. The 8th of January, 2023, which is actually a year and 1 day before I came up with this, is when you posted your first video of Gift to the Gab.
I was like, what are you talking about?
I was getting
Yes! Oh my god, what the hell?
What was that like for you, kind of starting your own podcast? Because I feel like you mentioned before you were like, you did your own things before, but this was your first solo, did you say? Solo podcast.
It was scary.
How much before you posted it did you come up with it? Like when did you came up with the idea of doing your own? Or was it always
Oh,
the plan?
literally, like, it must have been like 7 months. So I've been like
That's all.
sitting on it for a really long time, but my dad had just died, and I was in a bit of like a shit place. And then so I'm really oversharing, but I got into quite an abusive relationship as well, like after my dad died. So I was just in like such a shit place, and it never felt like the right time. And then I moved in with my best friend, and I was like, fuck it, like there's no time like now, do you know what I mean? You just need to do it.
100%.
So I like backlogged a couple episodes. Actually, I'm missing out a huge part. Basically, this boy, Finley, my friend Finley, he reached out to me like at a really random time. I think it must have been like September 2022. And he was like, hey, I know this is really random, but I just want to ask, what the hell happened to your podcast, Hush Hush? It was so good. Like, there was so much going for you guys. Like, I really missed it. I really enjoyed it. And I was like, that's so funny that you messaged me, because I was literally thinking about like doing my own podcast. He's like, holy shit, let's meet up, let's talk. So Finley like literally just helped me with the podcast for free. He had like all the camera equipment and everything. I know.
Literally, both of them both texted me.
That's amazing.
Just like that. He texted me on, so me and him used to play, sorry I'm not into your story, but we used to play football together in 2021, right? So I'm going to say my story because it's kind of like yours.
No,
so
tell
like
me.
January must have been like New Year's. The way I'd always thought about it for me, like I've always posted TikToks, but they're kind of like, they're spicy TikToks. It's like shit about Drake, but just shit that I knew would do well. So I was like, right, like
Sometimes you just
I'd do
need
it
to
for my
turn
pal.
up.
I'd be like, mate, I'm gonna post this and this is gonna bang, because it's just shit about Glasgow. But pretty much I always wanted a platform, because I always had it in my head. I was like, mate, I'll do something. I don't know when, I don't know how, but I'll definitely do something. And then like September 23, I started doing my works Instagram for size, And before that, I'd always done TikToks myself, but I was never like into social media like that, I'd say. But then like I fucking fell in love with it. Like I started doing it in size. I was like, mate, why the fuck am I doing hospitality right now? Because I left school when I was 16. Like I like kind of fucked it a wee bit, but I was like, fuck that. Left with nothing, and then did hospitality, did professional cookery, 2022 to 2023, and then just as I started doing Instagram, I just started doing front of house in college. But I started doing Instagram, I was like, fuck that, I love doing social media. But it was just that was all I was at. I love social media. But one thing that I'd always had with me is, and this may be the same with you, I feel like some people watching this might be, but I was always just bumping into people. Like kind of like famous people you'd say, but just in the most random times ever. So like 2 weeks before I started doing Instagram, I was sitting outside, you know, Pizza Punks?
Yeah.
Sitting outside there and fucking Lemmy walked by. Just on like a random Tuesday night. So I've got a video on my phone from very early on of Lemmy going, because my brother was an actor, going like that, Francesco, you're a star, and like making a mad face. And this was like me just 2 seconds meeting him and dipping. So like that was always in my head, do you know what I mean? Like I was always just, that's just one of them. Like when I was a wee guy, I'd always fucking meet mad YouTubers. But anyway, so that was always in my head. And then it got to New Year's, and on my room I've got like a piece of paper that I wrote down on New Year's Eve of like goals for this year. So I was like, right, I want to do something, but like I actually want to do something. And me and my brother were sitting, it must have been like 2 in the morning, we snuck out the back garden. We're like sitting,
Just
like,
sitting outside
we were both
stars.
just sitting like going like back off. And then I just went, supper in a can. I had it locked. I hadn't made any supper in a can. I'd filmed the first one, but I hadn't posted anything about supper in a can. But I made a TikTok. You know those TikToks people do, and it's like, my 2024.
Yeah.
It was like one of those ones, and it was like everything I'd done this year, because I was like doing social media for brands pretty much. Like before I'd post something I can, I wanted to get about. So I was like helping brands doing their content and just getting my name about. And the very last slide was a selfie of me and this bit going like that, and it was covering my face, and it was like, to be true, no one ever got it from it though. Then I post that, and this is my account would fucking Edit City text me, something blah blah blah, and about like working with the brands if they ever need an editor, blah blah. So I was like reading that text, and I was like, oh aye, that's class, like liking it. And I like said to Jessica, I was like, here, no way, because I'd been sending those texts out to everyone. I was like, here, no way, someone's like sent me one of these texts. And then he's like, what did you say to him? And I was like, oh, I just said to him, like, I'll let him know if the brands ever need an editor. And he was like, why wouldn't you say to him about supper in a can? And I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, why wouldn't I say it? Because I was like, that makes so much sense. Then reply, and then he's like, oh, it's James, by the way. So we played football together in 2021. We're heavy tight.
Why did you go and
we used to play
this
exactly. No, but
So
I back it. He was being professional as fuck, and we were like, yeah, we were like heavy tight.
Sympathy, like, oh, you can do it if you want.
Oh, poor boy, come and dance
pal,
for the favour.
And then no, because we would always play FIFA together like years ago, and then and goes at James, by the way, and then like from then he jumped in the crew, and then with Fraser, his big sister and my big brother went to, do you know the school in Knightswood?
Yeah.
They went to the like musical, it's not musical theatre, maybe it's the dancing part of that. So because he was like there's that connection, he'd sent me a text as well, being like, yo, like if you're needing, and this was before it was this, mate, it used to just be a phone, it was different people's phones. And then, yeah, and now look at it. But the reason we have these is because my brother's an actor, he uses these to do his self-tapes.
This is class.
So that's gonna have that. Sorry, I went on a really, really big rampage.
It's alright.
I went from you talking about Gift of the Gab.
I'm happy that you told me. It's good to know these
But no one
things.
ever, see, this is why it's good having a podcaster on. No one ever asked about me, so
No, but I want to
you've
know.
let me tell my story.
We're both in the same industry, do you know what I mean?
We
Like,
are.
you need to look out for other people.
Who's been your favourite guest?
Ooh. Honestly, I don't think I really have a favourite because everyone's been class that I've
But
had
you've
on.
got a least favourite. We don't need to put it in, but you've got a least favourite.
Everyone has a least favourite. Everyone has a least favourite. To be fair, one episode that has always stuck out to me was when I had a girl called Emmy Evans on, who's a fashion designer who designed a dress for Doja Cat, who's like blowing up in London. She was hilarious. She was we just bounced off each other so well, so that was really, really good. I'd say that one. And also Fiorenza from I Kissed a Girl.
That, like, kind of music, I think is...
Yeah, she was so good.
Wait,
Like,
so
we're actually going to go
what
for a
is I
pint.
Kissed a Girl?
I Kissed a Girl is basically like the lesbian Love Island.
I thought that.
It was
I
so
thought
good,
that,
and
I
that
thought
was
that,
the
I've seen
first
that, I've
media
seen
thing that she'd ever done.
that. Really?
So I got her first before everyone else, and I was like, oh yeah. So yeah,
That's
she
it.
was class. She was so good. But yeah, because it's a lot. I don't know. Yeah, probably those two. I
And then who's
I should probably say my boyfriend's one as well.
Have you done one with him?
Yeah, he was
That's
one of
class.
my first guests at home. That's how we became friends.
Wait, that was before you went out?
We've been friends for 2 years.
Ah.
I know.
That's quite cool. You can like watch.
We were,
That's so mad.
we
You
were
can like
watching it
watch
last
yous-
night. The first
Oh.
time, because we've been saying like, we need to watch about, we need to watch about. We watched about last night. I was cringing so much. I was like, oh, it was awful because I was just like, laughing at everything you were saying. It was so embarrassing.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on.
Thank you so much. I've loved every minute of it. Thanks so much for my chippy.
100%. And if you're wanting to catch Gift of the Gab, shout out all the ats.
At Gift of the Gab.
There you go.
Very much.
No spaces, no caps.
No, I don't think so. I should probably check that. Let me go double check.
We'll put it up here anyway.
Yeah, we'll put it up here, and you can catch me on TikTok, I guess.
You posted quite a lot on your own TikTok, don't you?
I love TikTok.
Yeah,
Fucking
TikTok's
sue
class.
me. I love it. I want it to take over my brain. I love it so much, and people hate it, but fuck it.
Yeah.
It is what it is. You need to utilise it.
You do. Well, guys, we'll see you next week. God bless.
Bye!
Just ride with it, like, go and get live with it. But niggas don't like me cause I'm nice with it. And the girl gets hyped to it, neck deep in